Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta.
And thank you so much for joining us once again as we take you on a journey. We always like to leave you with a versus a So we want to thank you for coming today, if it's your first day, and if not, we want to thank you for coming back.
Yes, we do. Thank you, everyone. And we're going to remind you, like we always do, if you like our chats, we hope you do, please hit the thumb icon, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell notification. So you'll be the first to be notified when our chats are ready to be seen.
Yes.
All right, let's get going. Now, today our tea is very unusual, and Gloria is going to explain all about it.
This is called Bloomy Smart Tea Cuppa. So it comes all inclusive. All you have to do is add a quarter cup of hot water.
You can take out and show how it looks.
Yes. So you add a quarter cup of water, you swirl the cup gently, and it tops with hot water, and then you just enjoy. So this is how it comes.
It's already the sleeve. All these cups in there.
Yes.
With the lids. And the cups inside, they actually have the tea leaves in there at the bottom.
Yes.
And to stop it from seeping, I'm about to cough. To stop it from seeping, getting on.
Oh my God. This is one of those days.
To stop it from seeping, it has a little like mesh netting.
Yes.
Which is
it's new to us. You know, we decided to try something different. And the most important thing is this particular tea is called green butterfly pea flower tea.
Which neither one of us has heard of.
Or tried.
But we said, okay, give it
So it's already in the cup. You just add hot water, steep, and enjoy it. It enhances focus, radiance skin and hair, and it boosts your metabolism. The ingredients are organic green tea and butterfly pea flower.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that means.
Okay, so we've had it seeping for a bit.
And we swirled it a little bit.
Okay,
let's see what this is. Oh, it smells good. It smells like green tea.
Oh, I don't know. All right, let's
give
it a try. Cheers. Oh my God, it's so hot.
It's very hot. We're having such a fun day.
Okay.
Forgive us. See, we want you to see the realness of us because we always like to have a good time when we're together.
Right.
All right. So.
Wait. You forgot to say, did you like it? Or what does it taste
it's too hot. I can't really taste it. It's hot. It needs to cool.
It just tastes of green tea.
Yeah, green tea. But it's not bad. It has good flavor.
Yeah, I don't know what it's meant. It actually tastes like a Chinese tea you'd get like at a dim sum place or a restaurant.
Exactly.
So maybe that's what it is. And I don't know the English name. I just know the Chinese name.
Okay, it says it was carefully crafted from organically grown premium loose leaf tea, collected in selenium-rich soil of heavily forested provenance of China.
Okay.
So see, that's why it tastes like that tea that we get in the restaurants. And it says it is the homeland of the world's finest teas. So we're going to just, keep drinking it. I'm keeping the top on a little bit so I can swirl it.
Well, mine is too hot. I need to.
Because it's too hot. All right. So first thing, today is Name Your Car Day. National Day, Name Your Car. Does your car have a name? My car has a name when it's good. It's called Baby. When it has to go to the shop, it's called other names. What do you call your car?
Nothing. Just car.
Just car. Let me get in the car and go.
Get in my car. That's it.
All of our cars have names, and my sister's cars, they'll be like, one of my sisters, she called her car Beatrice.
What?
I was like, Beatrice, and she's like, yeah, baby, Beatrice. So, do you name your car? If so, comment below and let us know what you call it. Also, October is a very, very, very important month for women. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Make sure that you get your annual procedures done. Make sure you get your mammograms. It's important. And if you have dense tissue, tell them, we got a new law this year. Legally, they have to do an MRI and not just do the typical standard.
Really?
Yes, that just got passed this year.
I just had my MRI this year, and they didn't offer that to me.
Yeah. Well, you mean your
My
mammogram,
Yes.
and they didn't offer.
No, they didn't
Yeah.
offer.
Well, maybe, if you don't know, you wouldn't know to ask for it.
And
So,
they probably wouldn't even bother to tell you.
yeah, because if they don't see anything, and I mean, it feels like there couldn't be nothing hiding the way they squeeze. It hurts. So I always make a joke. I would like to see what men would feel like if they had to do an annual of their testicles.
Okay.
I mean, not to the level of what they do with breasts. I wonder if the evolution of technology and medication to help cure it would get better if it was something that affected men.
Maybe.
Maybe. So, we always like to acknowledge people, whether they're famous or not, who have passed and made their transitions. So, we want to acknowledge Maggie Smith. She was I think she was Mother Superior in Sister Act 2. And she's also a major character in Doubting Abbey. Just a beautiful human being. And today on The View, Whoopi shared that when she found out about her mom's passing, that Maggie was with her and she took care of her. And so I thought that was beautiful. James Amos is from Good Times. I love that show. With J.J. Walker, Dynamite, It was such a good show, and he was the father, and he was that firm character.
Yes.
He was also in Roots. Once again, very strong father figures. That was something that he resonated with, and he did quite a few roles. He also passed. And Chris Christopherson, beautiful musician. Remember, he has that curly hair, and he did A Star Is Born with Barbara Streisand, and she runs her fingers through his hair, And I think there's a name, like Russell or something, that she says to him when she's doing that. If you remember what it is, put it down below. But it was something, so when the current version with Lady Gaga came out, it was all about making sure that they reproduce some of the performances. So our thoughts and prayers go out to them. And I also want to do a quick shout out to my godmother who passed away on Monday. You talk about deep. That was her nickname, Mrs. Deep. Because we're sitting here talking, and all of a sudden she said, "Oh, I remember when we walked in the, when we were walking from town to town because we refused to get on the buses." And I was like, "You walked?" We as Americans today have kind of lost that inert to be able to withstand and to walk 5 miles each way every day.
Well, everybody has public transportation or cars, and walking is, I don't know, nobody wants to walk anymore anywhere.
Yeah, it's not the same. As you know, our central focus on our chats is to learn how to help our children grow and help them to thrive. And, I'm always shouting out California because our governor and our elected officials so far are trying to do things to improve the quality of lives of our children. So this week, our lawmakers here in California approved a $1 billion plan to ensure that foster youths have access to enrichment activities like swim classes, after school sports, specialized therapy when they're suffering, and help with housing when they leave the government custody as young adults. Because one of the things that Rosetta and I found out, when we were talking about the homelessness and how encampments are everywhere, there's a good percentage of those encampments are children because they've aged out of the foster care system.
Yeah.
And I think that's horrific. And I think everybody that's running for office should be trying to figure out how to help people so that we don't have major encampment centers anymore. So I wanted to, give our people a little bit of props on that.
Yep. So it's good to live in California.
Yes,
because
it
they
is.
always do good things.
Yes, they do. So Dancing with the Stars was kind of preempted by the election. I'm looking at my tea, and it's interesting how they got it to stay down like that.
Well, it's got this, if you look, I didn't show it, I should have shown it at the bottom. In order for it to stay down, they have something covering
like
it.
a little netting.
Yeah.
But it's really, it's loose, but it's contained.
Yeah.
This is really cool. I'm going to have to see if they have other flavors.
We'll look it up online.
Yes. So Dancing with the Stars was preempted this week because we had the vice president debate. Did you watch it? What did you think? Were you impressed? Were you status quo? Didn't have any effect on you? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Well, I could say what my overall feedback was on. I thought that the debate, I don't think that it really, to me, I'm thinking it didn't really change people's minds. It didn't really switch them. Like if you were for the Republicans or if you were for Democrats, I don't think either one of them changed our minds to switch. And I don't think they did that for that reason. And I like the fact that I think Tim Walz, he actually was very into talking about Kamala Harris instead of about himself, and trying to put her the needs of the nation first, of what Kamala Harris would do was very nice. I like that. Whereas Vance, he talked a lot about himself, but I must give him props because he was a very different man last night compared to what we've seen.
He tried to show us a kinder, more compassionate person, because out of all of the vice president nominees ever, even Sarah Palin, his numbers are really low. People don't like him.
Yeah, so it just seemed that I don't think that there was anything that spectacular about this debate.
Okay.
But I think that Tim Walz did a very good job, and there were a few blunders.
Yes.
But I think they corrected it. I mean, at least Tim admitted that he made mistakes. He could come forward and do that, and he wasn't defensive or anything. But I think that what I didn't like was the question that he asked at the very end in regards to, do you think that Trump lost?
Yeah, no. He was even better. He said, who do you think won?
Who do you think won? Okay.
The election.
Okay, yeah. So Vance didn't completely ignore that. They didn't even answer that. So I say that a lot of times when you don't answer, a lot of people have their own thoughts and they already know the answer. By you not saying anything, you've already given your answer. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. My takeaway was it was more professional. The conversation went back and forth. That part was really good. When you see us doing this, we're not losing our mind. There's these little bugs that come from nowhere. I think they like tea.
I don't know.
Because we've been here all this time. There's been nothing. We make our tea. We start drinking it, and they're like, I want to go swimming in the tea. And we're trying to keep it moving. So that's what's going on with us today. So it was more professional. Senator Vance was trying to get America to see that he could be a kinder person. You just talk too much about Kamala. I know Kamala Harris. I mean, she talks about herself. You should have used this time to talk about you and what made you different. There were certain questions that were asked of him, and I'm sure in his head he's thinking, if I say anything other than what Donald Trump wants me to say, that would not be good. So that, I think he got caught up. And that last question that Governor Walz asked him, who do you think won the election? When he didn't answer, that for people who weren't sure who they should vote for or whatever, they should have thought to themselves, okay, because if you are an election denier, you're just, there was no election denying. The governors of all of the states have certified the information. Vice President Pence certified the election. It's been 3.5 years. Let it go. So that was like, I was like, okay. Because at first I thought, Now, a lot of people have been climbing on to the fact that Governor Walz called himself a knucklehead. Let me tell you something. We all have cute little names that we call ourselves when we make mistakes. At least he was man enough to say, I was out, I was doing things. I thought I was there. I thought I went to Hong Kong. I didn't go. I made a mistake. I apologize. I made a mistake. Have you ever heard Donald Trump say, I was wrong, I made a mistake? No. We need people in our government who can admit when they do something wrong and work and collaborate to make it better. That's what we need. So for me, it wasn't necessarily that it changed my opinions. However, I was thinking to myself, wow, because, J.D. Vance has been saying some really strange things, and he came across very
calm and diplomatic. Yes. And they actually, I was shocked, they actually praised each other at some point. I forget which point it was. I'm like, oh, wow.
But that's the way it should be. And what Governor Walz was trying to do, what I really liked that he did, he talked statistics. He said, here in Minnesota, we've done this. And here we did this. I don't think it's a man's right to tell a woman what to do with her body. I think that women are educated. I was like, yes, because the I don't know what you call them, the debate coordinators, were both women. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was one of them, they probably would have said, you can't do debates anymore, because when Governor Walz said that, I would have been absolutely correct. Absolutely. That was the correct answer. And now we're going to move on. At one point they had to mute their mics because they, J.D. Vance, he was like a dog with a bone sometimes. It's like, well, I'm going to get my opinion out. I'm going to say what I got to say.
Yeah, but then Tim Walz actually tried to say something on top of that, and that's when they had enough. And they said,
and they just cut them both off.
Yes.
So, but it was only one time. And they honored the fact that they had said that if they had to, they would mute the mics. Mm-hmm. Whereas in previous debates with, President Biden as well as Vice President Harris, they never muted, Donald. They just let him run amok. So that was really good. I hope you got to see it, because I don't think we're going to get any more debates. That was
it, the one and only.
Yeah, they said the only way that Trump will debate Harris is if he's winning in the polls. And I also think that as an American woman, I'm sick of it. I don't believe the polls are right, because I think we're just sick of it. We want the election to happen. All of you people playing all these games and doing all this negative stuff, as a woman, we're done. Stop it. You're going to lose the elections if you keep doing it, because that's not how we roll. We have children we have to worry about, and I have a new little grandbaby. That's my focus. So I want a world that's safe for her. All right. So, the Golden Bachelorette. I have to admit, I like the Golden versions way better than I ever liked the other ones.
But I'm actually really, it's kind of too early. I shouldn't say this, because we're only into episode 2.
Absolutely.
But I'm really liking Joan and the guys this time. Well, because I think with Gary I liked him initially. I'll have to see. I may be speaking too early, because I did like Gary at the beginning, but then we started seeing these things that would crop up that would annoy us about him.
Right.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we haven't seen that with Joan. Joan is more open and kind. I like how when she talks to them, she touches them. Right. She looks them dead in their eyes. I think she's also made some really good connections. But for me, I love the fact that the boys decided we're not going to just sit around and drink alcohol before the rose ceremony. We're going to have a barbecue.
They're all. I think this is the only season of even the Golden Bachelor and all the Bachelorettes, and I've seen them actually cooking.
Oh, I know.
Because at the beginning.
The Golden Bachelorette, somebody used to cook, just like, what's her name? Pat used to do the makeup and the hair.
Okay.
But somebody used to do the cooking and somebody would do the cleaning.
Okay.
But now the young'uns,
we don't see them do
cook,
anything.
They don't know.
No, we just see them drinking and swimming, and that's all we see.
Yes, we saw one guy, Jack, doing cannonballs, but that was about it. You know, he was like a fun person, but so of course, just like the normal, they do the group date, the one-on-one, and then the second group date. So on the first group date, it was, come join me at the prom. I thought that was kind of cute.
That was cute.
And I love the fact that Charles L., which I'm sure you love, he is the Asian bachelor. And one thing he shared with us, he was the only man his wife ever dated, and she was the only woman he ever dated. Now, you talk about commitment and love. I thought that was so beautiful. And they are all of certain ages, but he was like, I'm the youngest one here, so I'll climb up on the top bed bunk. And I thought, y'all need to fix that, because if one of these seniors fall out of those bunks.
Yeah, I don't understand why they have the bunks,
because
they were all had some kind of health issues.
Yes.
I can't, my knees, but this and that. And he said, well, I will do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
he climbs up there, but Charles was really cute, and he got to talk to Joan. It's been about 6 years since he lost his wife, and his daughters really wanted him to get back out there. And first time I'd ever seen this, they gave him a phone so he could call his daughter and say, I'm here with Joan. And I thought that was really cute.
That was cute. And
yes.
The funny thing about the show is I find Pascal quite hilarious.
Yes, he is.
Pascal, he has money. You can tell.
He pays Greg to do his laundry.
Yes, he paid $100 an hour to do the laundry, but not only do the laundry, to fold the laundry
and
as well.
to iron.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, you're cute.
Yeah, $100. And the way that he had a little tour, he showed Joan his whole layout of where he put his clothes.
Yes.
I think that whole closet space was just for him.
Well, you remember when he got there, he was like, is this the closet?
Yeah.
Because it's so tiny. And he goes, I brought way too many clothes. And I thought, how long did you think you were going to last? And how many pieces of garments did you bring?
Well, he likes to live a certain lifestyle.
Yes.
And he's very set in his ways.
Yes.
And I don't think you can change him. But it was nice that he offered to pay someone, and I don't know if I was one of the other batches if I would accept that. I don't want to do anyone's laundry. Thank you.
I'm kind of here on vacation, and it's all about me and Joan.
Yeah.
However, Greg was like, "Oh, okay, I'll do it." And and you see him, and he goes, I think he's folding a pair of shorts, and he goes, "These shorts probably cost more than my suit." I thought that was really cute. I was like, "Oh my God." And the other thing is that Greg, he's doing the laundry. But he's, they all kind of just go with the flow. There's no drama. There's no issues. So they went to prom together the first night, and Jonathan was sitting with Joan, and he shared with her that he never made it to his prom because he asked a young lady, and she said yes. And then the week before the prom, she pulled back. And he said that it just destroyed his ego, and he was devastated. So Joan made him the king of the ball and gave him the rose of the night, the date rose. And then it was so cute. She puts a crown on his head. They put a crown on her, and they're dancing. And one thing that I always love when you see older couples like that, they just kind of glide on the floor. So that was pretty cool. I like that. But I agree, Pascal is too much. So her one-on-one was with Chuck. But it's spelled like C-H-O-C-K, but yes, Chuck. So she told him, meet me at the happiest place on earth. And I'm like, girlfriend, that could be anything, but I guess it's location, because if you're here in California, it's Disneyland. If you're in Florida, it's Disney World. So he met her there, and they got to hang out with the characters of the park. I mean, when they went over to the park by the Star Wars and R2D2 came out, I was like, I told my husband, I'm like, I would be like, forget going on a date. I'm just going to hang out here and fly the spaceship. I thought that was really cool.
And then they went to have a meal at that private place, which nobody really knows about, which was nice.
Yes. And, he looked really good in a tux.
Yes, he
did. And she looked amazing in that baby blue dress. And, for me, he shared with her that he had been married for about 12 years, and that didn't work out. And then he met this lady named Kathy, and they had been married for several years, and I guess she wasn't feeling good. She went to the doctor, and she had some form of brain cancer. And he said, like, 5 months and 4 days later, which meant he knew exactly that whole process, she was gone. And it was just, and he said that it was devastating. And the communication that the two of them got into, talking about the devastation and the magnitude of losing someone that they loved, and they were able to share and bond on that. So I thought to myself, okay, you might be in first position. Of course, he got the rose.
Well, he got the first one-on-one date, so that doesn't, it's always the first one-on-one date. It seems to be goes very well. So we'll have to see as time goes on if their relationship is still as close.
And they got to see those beautiful fireworks at the park. And I was laughing because I mean, they do them every night. But they used to be cute and little, but those were big. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to go to Disneyland. Looks like things have gotten even better.
Changed a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. So the second dates were talent shows. And Lonnie Love showed up as one of the surprise judges. And I love Greg as a comic. Love him, because Lonnie Love is a comic. And when he did, he tells the boys, he goes, chant with me, USA, Team USA. And I'm thinking, oh, that's United States of America. Now, that stands for untreated sleep apnea, because Greg is the one that snores, and the boys were talking about how difficult it is to get any sleep. So they're all going through some form of sleep apnea. So that was really cute. And Dan, he has tremors. And initially he was so concerned, what am I going to do? How do I hide these tremors? And what he ended up doing was using ribbons.
Yes.
And, he shared what was going on with him. And did anyone stand out for you?
I really liked Dan, because he actually, even though he had the tremors, he was very, very nervous. He actually mentioned, you might see my hand shaking because he actually mentioned that, because he was brave enough to tell everyone.
Absolutely.
So I liked him. And who else was there? Now I'm like, because this was a week ago. There was the one guy was that the comedian Greg with the sock puppets?
Oh no, that was Jack.
That was Jack.
That was Jack with the sock puppets. Jack was cute, but he was the one with the cannonballs while the other guys are cooking and talking to Joan. He's jumping in and out of the pool. And unfortunately, I also like the fact that Dan told her, because he got to go with her on the date, and he shared with her that he had diabetes, and at one point his health was really, really bad. So he quit his job to focus on his health. And he told her, he says, I'm doing so much better now. And I really like that. And I know she did too, because she gave him a rose.
Yes, she did.
So it was just, I liked everything about it. I like the fact that there's a guy, Jerry, and Jerry likes to coach his grandkids. And Joan must have liked him, because she gave him a framed picture of the two of them, and I think she called it like gold and sunshine.
Yes.
And a framed picture of them.
And he was so, overwhelmed with emotion. He felt so like, this is like, I cannot believe that she would actually do this for me. Out of all the men in this house, she did this for me.
Yeah.
And that was a nice picture. It was very nice.
It was very nice. And then Mark when the show started, they show Mark and Joan together, and he's teaching her German. And so he teaches her different little phrases, and then the last one says, "Can I kiss you?"
Yeah.
And then she says to him, "You could have said that in English."
I know.
And so then they shared a kiss. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I like it because they're not always making out all the time.
Yes, like the young'uns.
Well, Greg, he kissed a lot of women in his...
You mean Gary.
Sorry, Gary kissed a lot of women in his season, which I didn't really like.
Yeah,
so
and
hopefully.
Took them all to the room. And I love the fact that Joan is like, yeah, we're going to do the overnight suites, but there's going to be no beds. Because she wants to use the private time to get to talk to them, not hopping into a bed.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I really do.
So what are you thinking about what you're seeing? I mean, granted, this is only the second show. The third show, the preview, now this one's going to be funny. Okay, so these gentlemen are anywhere between 60 and up.
Yeah.
And they're out there trying to kick balls. And one of the guys kicks a ball and he goes, oh, he grabs his leg.
They think they're young, but then when they overdo something, that's when their age shows.
Because they go, oh my God, that hurt. So I'm looking forward to the next up and coming. Yes. And I hope you are too.
And that's tonight.
Yes.
So comment below what you think. Who do you like?
Yes.
And what you're looking forward to see, because we'll be discussing it next week.
Absolutely. So, last week we shared with you that there was a possible Hurricane Helene. And they had forecast that it could hit Florida, and it could be devastating. And they said it would be somewhere along the Florida coast. Well, Helene had a whole different path. Not only did it hit Florida, it hit Georgia, and it really hit North Carolina. I've never seen weather do what that did. 26-inch high swells, cars being thrown around like rocks, trees just being uplifted and slamming on homes. There was a young girl, and she was in North Carolina, and she came out, and I guess they asked her a question, and she's just staring, and she goes, there used to be a house there, and now it's completely gone. I mean, we live in earthquake country, so we're always concerned about what happens, and we're always so grateful to God that after the earthquakes, we're okay. We may have some form of devastations, but it's kind of like a hit and miss. That there are communities in North Carolina that are gone.
Yeah, a lot of people lost their lives.
Over 125 people, and they're still searching because there's 600 people are still not accounted for
across, and I'd say across six states.
Six
states. So this is really devastating. And there were some people that actually got on a truck. I heard a story of some people on a truck, but the truck overturned and everybody lost their lives.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. One of the things that they've been trying to figure out is when they say evacuate, why people won't leave. And I understand, if you're at your house, like we have fires here, and I know someone where they knocked on the door at 3 a.m. and said, get out. And the person's like, excuse me? And they said, stick your head out the door, and the house next door, the whole house is on fire. So they're running around, and the California Highway Patrolmen are like, look, lady, let's go. She goes, I gotta get my cat. So, she gets her cat, the carrier, and out they go. Now, by the grace of God, when they got back, the house on both sides of them was gone.
Only her house was remaining.
Only her house was remaining. So you never know what's going to happen, but it also gets you to think, in the event of a major disaster, what would I do? Now, Al Roker was talking this morning, and Tennessee was also affected by Helene. And Tennessee says that the governor, I think his name is Governor Bill, he said that something historic happened there. And they've never had weather like that before. So this isn't like, people keep saying, oh, it's just the weather, it's just rain. No, this is a climate issue. And if we continue to do the things that we're doing, it's just going to continue to get worse.
And they also had to move from the prisons, all these prisoners, and the men over 800 and the women over 400, because of the power outage and the infrastructure.
Yeah, because they didn't know when the power was going to come back on, so they had to move them out to other prisons.
Yeah, and especially because of the communications infrastructure was damaged, so they had to move them. I can only imagine, like, were they all accounted for? That's what I was thinking.
And we don't know, because like when Helene hit Florida, when it left, cars and things are just stuck in the mud. It's like the sand from the beach came into town and just laid there.
Yep.
So that's devastating. And then they say things like, we don't know if people are underneath the sand. And I'm like, oh my God. So I call him Uncle Al, but Al Roker was saying this morning that there are about 4 more tropical systems that are just kind of floating around. By the grace of God, we hope they'll stay out over the ocean. We don't want them to travel in. However, one of them is right along the Florida coastlines right now. So things are still not settled. There's still unrest. And the goal, because they were showing all the way up to New York, we're going to get some rain. Well, they're going to get some rain. We wish we could get some rain. Or we wish that, like I keep saying, if they can run drug tunnels underneath places, why don't they run some water tunnels? And that way, do you believe it? We could eliminate these major swells, because it would go down into the tunnels and it could float to California where we don't have water, and we could put out our fires, and then we would not be in drought situations. If we all learn to collaborate and to live together, we can do some great things. This me versus me, it's got to stop. It's just out of control. The other thing is that scientists finally are talking, and they have found that climate change is primarily caused by fossil fuel. Rosetta and I have told you this many, many times. And they are now saying that they believe that exasperated the Hurricane Helene. So my big $64 million question is, if fossil fuel is bad for Mother Earth, why are we letting rockets go up and down willy-nilly all the time? Do we really have to put people in space?
No. Do
we really have to run the risk? And I just heard, you know how when you get on planes, they say there's Wi-Fi. Right. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. United is currently in contract negotiations with X, you know who I'm talking about, the man, to gain access to some of the satellites that he has put up in the sky that are only 1,000 feet up versus where most of them are. So that to me says, how many satellites are in the sky? What is going on?
Yeah.
So think about these things when you go to vote. We need people who are going to protect us, because I trust that the people who are going through this devastation, they've never seen anything like this before in their life. And what they need to understand is, do you want somebody who is a me person, or someone who is a team, we, us person?
And I always say what they need to do is, because we're lucky in California, because we do a lot of stuff to help our environment, global warming. Mm-hmm. But there are other states that have no clue even what recycling is.
Yeah.
They're still using things that are not biodegradable.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So my thing is, and I don't know if this is possible, but maybe we could try this out. Maybe I might try and see if I could. How about we get the government to come out with a program for the nation, because each country has to come up with their own, whatever they're going to, a program where if you don't abide by that program, there's going to be repercussions of some sort. Because I'm telling you, people are not caring about this global warming, even though they're very devastated when it hits their state.
Right.
And they're thinking there's no global warming, but they're not doing anything about it.
Right.
So in order to make it serious, we have to have repercussions.
Yeah. That's like Katrina. How many years ago?
Oh my God, Katrina was what, in the early 2000s.
Yes, they are still trying to recover from that in New Orleans and Louisiana. New Orleans came back faster because that's a tourist town, but some of the outskirts.
But they had another, didn't they? Weren't they affected not too long ago as well? Again,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't at that level because they were able to fix the. My brain is saying, I think they are called dams.
The dams, yes.
They were able to fix them. However, the water still rises to the level that it just takes a little, and it floods everything.
Yeah, we have to. I'm telling people, when you're watching this, think about it. How can we, as human beings, each person, help with this global warming? And the only way to do that is if we put some programs in place and consequences.
Yeah.
Because nobody gives a bleep, bleep, bleep if there's no consequences.
Yeah, if it doesn't affect them, they don't care. And the other thing is, think about those towns. Those towns have children. Those children are not only displaced from their homes, they're displaced from schools. And some of those schools are not tech savvy. So it's not like they have computers and Wi-Fi and remote and all of that. So when the school is out, the parents, they'll give them like little workbooks to do, but that will also allow our children to fall behind the curve. This is big. This is really, really big and really, really devastating. So we have to figure out how to work together and how to collaborate.
Yeah, when is a time where we're going to stop and do something drastic to turn it around?
Yes, I completely agree. So, we've been talking a lot about our world and our environment. And I don't know if you have a help tip. My makeup tip of the day is to just be aware of your surroundings. So my name's Gloria Webb Williams. My company is Ancient Stones Nurturing Natural. I'm an all-natural mineral makeup manufacturer here in Santa Clara, California. And I love what I do. However, I want our chat today to be very, very focused on our children and our environment, because that, to me, is the most important thing. We have got to figure out, because I can tell you what, a lot of this is because of greed. The fact that people want certain people in office, it's not because it's for the betterment of the whole. It's so that they can make more money, they can hide more money, and they can do more things other than pay their fair share. Because if you're a billionaire and you pay your taxes, they get to write that off the next year. So they're not losing anything. And for them to hold on and not want to raise their taxes, that's just not fair. So think about how you, as a billionaire, can shift this world and make it safe for future generations. Not trying to fly up into the sky to the next planet, because trust me, if you did it here, you're going to do it there. So that's my tip of the day. Let's find politicians who care more about us, the people, than they care about bragging rights or money.
Yep, exactly.
And you are?
Rosetta Chow, certified health coach and educator. And my health tip of the day is, and I've said this many times, is that being healthy, getting our society healthy, all starts from when you're a child in the home and in the schools. So we need to we've never had it, but we need to bring into the schools, if you want to get the kids to be healthy adults, you got to teach them when they're young.
Yes.
So we got to start having health, wellness, and nutrition classes when they're young in school.
Yes.
And I always say that that's my goal, because our kids are our future generations.
Yes.
And we've got to teach them how to enjoy eating healthy foods.
Yes.
Let's start with helping kids and parents make the right choices, so that even if the manufacturers are all about the bottom line, which is making money and being greedy and targeting kids with bad ingredients,
yes,
then how about we do that, start with the kids, so that they can understand, be educated, make the right choices. And then next we go after the big box manufacturers
Yes.
to have them stop producing things that are harmful to our young kids, because all starts with the kids.
Yeah.
When you're young and you're healthy, you can pass that on for many generations to come.
Yeah.
It's like in school we learn math, English, science.
Right.
Why-
Let's have nutrition.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got to do that. I think
Yeah.
that's key to helping our kids become healthy and making our society healthy and less sick. That's what we
Yes.
want, right? A
That's what
less
we want.
sick society.
Yes.
So that's me, Rosetta Chate. Your health matters, and so do your kids.
And, along with what Rosetta was saying, the most important thing is garbage in, garbage out. And do you know that when someone is certified as a doctor or nurse, they may get an hour or a day of nutritional training? So when you get sick, all they know how to do is push pills. Have you ever thought to yourself, why every time I go to the doctor, I come home with
But
another
that's what they're
prescription?
trained for, to learn the symptoms and categorize it into a chronic disease name, and then give them whatever pill is meant for whatever disease that they've named it.
So let's focus on nutrition. Let's bring nutrition into the conversation.
Yeah.
So, as always, we love the opportunity to spend time with you all. Thank you so much. We want you to know that we're grateful, because we know you could do something else. You could listen to someone else, and we're grateful you listened to us all the way to the end.
Yes.
So we feel the love in the room. We send it back to you all. Mwah, bubbling over.
And we're enjoying this tea, and it's very dark green now. Mine is dark green now.
Yeah, mine is not dark green, but I mean, I love it. Everybody's
Mine is different. Mine is
Everyone
dark
has a
green.
different
Yours is
color.
lighter.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some more research and see what other flavors this company
Mr.
has come up
Bloomy.
with. Bloomy.
Bloomy.
Bloomy Cuppa. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed our chats. And don't forget, if you like it, we want you to hit that thumb icon, because how would we know if you liked it or not if you don't
That's
hit
right.
that thumb icon?
That's right.
And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will be the first to be notified as soon as our chats are ready to be viewed. We've enjoyed it. Thank you. We are Silicon Valley Girls Chat over tea. And remember to always keep smiling.
Bye.
Have a great day.